Hey everybody. So today we're going to talk about the difference between channeling and the difference between conjuring. There's a big difference between conjuring spirits and channeling spirits. Sometimes some people think it's the same, but it's totally different. It's like different opposite, and I'll explain why. I had to write notes down, so you guys can bear with me while I read them. I hope so. Give me 1 second here. So channeling is what a medium usually does. If you ever see me, especially my past videos on on Facebook, when I'm when I'm doing scribbles and stuff and I'm channeling. That's what channeling is. Every medium channels differently. That's how I start to channels, with my scribbling, and then I start going in from there. Other psychics can't really channel. It's usually a mediumship kind of a thing. So if you have this ability and you know how to use it and you know how to use it right, that's what channeling is. The physical. So a medium stands between the physical and the spirit realm. So that's where if you. I mean, that's kind of where I feel like I am at half the time. My foot's one on this earth and the other is in the spirit realm, and people that know me will tell you that as well. We use our senses. We observe. We see. We have visions. Is what and spirit is usually the ones giving us that information. Now, when I channeling also usually working with spirits who are crossed over. When I say crossed over, they're in heaven on a higher realm. They're not down here. They're not down below. So channeling usually works with the spirit realm up here, way up here in heaven. It's a different vibration. And let's see here. Okay, so a true medium never uses spells, spells, cantations, or magic. That's one thing that you need to understand about what mediums are. A real medium will not do that. A real medium will just go and tell you what's up and just like tell you how it is. And they ain't gonna trick you by throwing some powder or smoke and mirrors, or something that just sparkles and makes all the noise and like little fireworks in front of you, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, your loved one is here, and start talking like they know what they're talking about. That's not even channeling. That's conjuring. Conjuring is dangerous, and I'll tell you why conjuring is dangerous. Is because when people conjure spirits, they open up portals, open up doorways to different realms. Basically, what that means, and you got to be careful with that. So people who do play Ouija boards, for instance, that's conjuring. That's a form of conjuring. People that hold seances, if they're not a good medium and they're trying to hold they pretend they think they know what they're doing by holding a seance, that's also part of conjuring, because you're opening up portals. And when you're channeling, you do not open up portals. That's a huge difference. When I'm channeling, spirit can come and go when as much as they free. They can come and go as free as they will. In fact, I've had spirits that have come, like for instance, I'll say, hey, your daughter's here. Would you like to visit? Your daughter Sally, James, or something. And the dad would be on their side and say, well, I don't believe in spirits. So I respect that. So also, well, thank you, and I'll tell your daughter. But he goes, well, tell my daughter I love her, and I do leave the message. And the daughter's like, well, yeah, that's exactly what my dad would do, because he was very religious. So they have spirits, when you're channeling, have the free will to come and go. I don't control them. They can come and go, and they do often with me. If I'm in public, for instance, they'll come to me like this, like right in my face, and my anxiety kicks in, because I know they're trying to use me to deliver a message to a loved one in a store, for instance. So they can come and go, and they're very respectful, and I've never had a problem with spirits wanting to hang around after I've channeled with them. So there's a difference. When you also with conjuring, it's black witchcraft or black magic, and it's a way of manipulating spirits that have come from, I don't know what side they're picking them up from. I'm assuming lower realm spirits or earthbound spirits and demons to play or use them for their own gain. So that's one thing mediums don't do. A medium should, when they're doing, as you guys know, you've always seen how I do readings. If you've had a reading with me, or if you've watched me do readings on here, I'm always praying. Now, I pray at the beginning, and then I pray at the end. And the reason I do that is, when I pray at the beginning, I'm asking God to allow, if His will, to allow me to do the readings. And I'm also asking Him to protect me and the reader. Now, at the end of my reading, I will pray again and just thank God. And by doing that, at the beginning, I'm opening up, and at the end, I'm closing. I don't ever leave and never leave anything opened up and just leave it like that. because you could be, who knows, you could be leaving something out. It's not good. And that could be considered a form of conjuring, or a spirit that can get stuck somewhere. You have to find a way. You always have to find a way of opening and closing, and that works for me is by praying and asking God's permission and thanking Him at the end. So that's what I do as a medium. Let's see here. Calling spirits which involve, conjuring's like calling spirits which involve witchcraft, spells, cantations, and black magic is used. And that's kind of also a form of manipulation with spirits also. And it's also sometimes can be a form of manipulation to people as well. You go to supposedly a medium, and she says, "Oh yes, give me so much money, and let me go, let me connect with a loved one." Well, they can tell you what you want to hear, and you give them the money, but they're going to probably do some kind of weird witchcraft, or some kind of weird magic thing, like I said earlier, like smoke and mirrors thing, and you're going to be like, "Wow, that was really cool." And by then, you'd be like, "Well, that was really interesting. I never seen that happen," because you're kind of mind blown, because they're it's kind of a way of manipulating, and who knows where they're getting their messages from. They could be getting their messages from demons, and that's why people say you got to be careful with mediums, because they can be getting messages from demons. And I think and I believe it's because of these kind of people that pretend to be mediums, these dark witchcraft people. So they'll probably come to you and looking like, "Oh yeah, she looks like a real medium. She uses herbs and she does all these spells and things to bring love and everything." Yeah, it's got to be careful, because it's like that person could be somebody pretending to be somebody of light, and they're actually doing some dark stuff on the side. So please be careful with that stuff. It's not good. So like I think I said this before, when somebody's using witchcraft or dark magic, actually when they're conjuring, they're controlling that spirit. That spirit doesn't have free will. There's magic being used, there's manipulation being used, and they're having those spirits do their bidding, and that's not good. It's never good. So when you channel, like I said earlier, they have the free will of coming and going when they want. There's a huge difference. Channeling is a lot safer than conjuring. Okay. Let's see here. So I think I've said this. Conjuring is the practice of control and power for the practitioner, the person that's using that on the people, and that's basically what that is. They're earthbound demons, evil entities. It's no good. Let's see here. So I know some people always assume that channeling and conjuring are the same. They're totally not. And I'm hoping that this video did give you guys some helpful information to understand the difference between conjuring and channeling. Channeling is always of the light. Mediums, if they're good mediums and they work with the light, you should have nothing to worry about. If they're praying before reading, praying after reading, go for those kind of mediums. I would not trust, and I've said this many times in my videos, and many times to people all the time. Don't trust people that don't pray before reading and don't pray after. I don't. And I'm very skeptical of other mediums and other psychics when I meet them, because there's so many wannabes, there's so many fakes, and there's so many people that give us, the real ones, bad names. So be careful with these kind of people. These are the fake. These ones are the manipulators. These ones are the ones that will probably bring evil into your life. These people that conjure spirits. People will end up having bad luck, and they wonder why. And they're like, "Well, Paul, I've seen a medium," and I'll find out what's going on, what kind of medium they were. And they weren't a medium. They were just practitioners of manipulating spirits. It's not what a medium does. A medium never uses black magic, any kind of magic, any spells, any contentation. That's not a medium's work. That's something of something else, and that's not of the light. So please be careful when you talk to mediums. Like I've said this in my other past videos before. You always know the difference between conjuring and channeling. And I hope this helps. And I hope I have some more further educational videos for you guys to understand as time goes on. Thank you for watching.